Hi, it's Kelly with CitrusCycles.ca. I'm here in Germany at the Eurobike show in Frankfurt at the Velo de Ville booth so I can show you some of their exciting new bikes. You can find the complete details, including the specs and pricing in Canada, on our website at CitrusCycles.ca. I hope to do an in-depth video review later, including a ride test, and you can find that on our website as well. In the meantime, you can visit our website to contact us if you want to set up an appointment to come try the bikes here in our store in Chemainus on Vancouver Island, or if you want us to ship one to you anywhere in Canada pretty much fully assembled, we can do that as well, and you can find that on our website as well. If you're in Canada, you can also reach out to us with any questions you have. If you're not in Canada, you'll want to contact your local Velo de Ville dealer, as we won't be able to help you. Before I get into all of the details of the bike I'm sharing with you, I wanted to tell you about why we're so excited to be partnering with Velo de Ville. Originally, we were attracted to the customization that Velo de Ville offers. You can choose not only the colors, you can see lots of different options here, but you can also choose the components. So we know what our customers need. We've listened to their feedback. I'm a rider too. I put thousands of kilometers on my trikes and bikes each year. And so we put together the components that we need for bikes in Canada. Puncture-resistant tires, comfortable ergon grips, reliable maintenance-free drivetrains when we can, and of course, comfortable seats. Interestingly, you probably haven't heard of Velo de Ville. And that's because, in one way, they're really customer-centric. So they actually rely on their customers for their marketing, word of mouth. And it's very similar to what we do. Almost all of our business comes from customers referring their friends to us because they really are happy with our service. And that's the same thing we find with Velo de Ville. Sustainability is really important to Velo de Ville, so the bikes are made by people that are treated well, a company that cares about the community and the environment. When possible, they are using European parts. That results in lower emissions in transportation, but it's also supporting other businesses that care about their employees, about the community, about sustainability. And by caring, I mean they actually do care. 10% of their workforce, for example, are people with disabilities. They have people working from all sorts of different countries in their factory. They really focus on equal opportunity, they promote diversity, and they have zero tolerance for discrimination. They're passionate about striving for perfection, and of course, they're very, very high quality. Let me give you an example, if I can find it here, of the practical ways that they are looking at sustainability. This paint color, for example, is called Eco Gray, and so the idea came about from one of their employees. And this is the great thing when you get your employees actively involved in your business, and you care about them, they care about you, they care about your customers, they care about the product, and so you get this collaboration happening where they said, look, Velo de Ville does all their own painting in-house. At the end of the day, they had leftover paint from overspray, and so what they did is they actually gathered up that extra, turned it into this beautiful eco-gray color. So this is basically the leftover paint from all the different colors makes this beautiful color, and that means there's no waste. They're not throwing out the excess paint. They're able to reuse it in this beautiful color here. Another example of sustainability, we've got these lovely wooden pedals as an option, wooden fenders, wooden grips, and so really, they're very committed to the idea of sustainability. It's not just words. So I'm really excited to be able to show you the FEB 990 Smart. It is a full suspension step-through touring e-bike. There's some really unique features on this bike. Of course, we do have a suspension fork up front, but we also have a swing arm and a shock on the back. It's also a step-through, though, with a very low step-through area, a very low standover height. A lot of bikes in this category are an Homage, for example, which is very popular. I do have an in-depth video review on our website, but it's a much taller step-through area because the rear shock is actually in here, making it harder to get on and off. This is nice and low, making the bike very, very manageable. So in my video review of that R&M Homage, I explain and I demonstrate the benefits of this full suspension bike. I'll try to talk a little bit about it right now, but I won't be able to get you out riding, of course, or demonstrate that. So hopefully I'll do an updated video when the bikes actually arrive in the store, and you can find that on our website at CitrusCycles.ca. So why do we actually care about having a full suspension bike? I hear that a lot of times from our customers. They say, look, I'm not actually planning on going mountain biking, so why do I care about that? And it's not for mountain biking. I mean, you could go mountain biking with it, and it's awesome. You've got the knobby tires there and very, very comfortable riding position. But the full suspension is doing a little bit more for us. It's obviously giving you a lot of comfort. It's reducing the impact of the bumps and uneven surfaces, which means you're going to have less fatigue. A lot of times we get tired riding our bikes, not so much from the exertion, especially since we've got the assistance from the motor, but it's more all that bumping and jumping and, going over rough terrain and that sort of thing that kind of sets your body on edge, and, all those vibrations are kind of transmitted through the seat. So in addition to comfort, you're actually getting more control over the bike. So you're not struggling to maintain control of your bike in rough sections of a road or trail. Both of your wheels are always on the ground because of that rear swing arm, which is really clever. And so you get a lot of stability. Often the way I demonstrate this is I pick up the rear tire, the rear wheel, drop it, and with the full suspension it stays stuck to the ground. And if you look at a hardtail, it's going to bounce around a little bit, and so you'll experience that riding. A good example of that is when my wife started first riding a full suspension step-through bike. She found herself on the big long hill with a tight corner on her hill, going downhill, going a lot faster than she did on her old bike without her even knowing it, because she felt so much more stable and more confident. It's also going to make you more predictable when you're driving in traffic. So if you're riding in an area with potholes or broken pavement, I see this a lot where people are kind of swerving and trying to avoid them, and that's really unsafe in traffic. You want to try to keep a straight line if you can, and the same consistent speed. And when you have that full suspension, you're able to do that. You don't really care about all the broken pavement, the potholes, whatever it is. You just keep on riding, and it makes you a lot more safe, a lot more predictable for motorists. So as you can see, we do have a very upright, relaxed riding position. Of course, being a step-through makes it really easy to get on and off for starting and stopping. And if you load up that really cool heavy-duty rear rack here with all your groceries and stuff, you're not trying to lean over a heavy bike and get your leg over the back. Step-through makes it really easy. In terms of comfort, we do have the adjustable angle stem here, of course, as well. I think on the ones, again, this is just one that we're looking at Eurobike. I think the ones we've configured, we have a little bit more sweep on the handlebars to give you, again, more relaxed riding position. So you can definitely use this for commuting and running errands, but it's also capable of going wherever you want because of that suspension. But it's also because we've got these very capable wide and puncture-resistant Johnny Watts tires. So you can conquer trails and any challenging terrain if you wish, or just stay on cycling paths and still be in a very comfortable riding position. So with the FEB 990, we are using the Bosch Smart System. We're using the CX motor from Bosch that gives you 85 newton meters of torque and lots of torque. Of course, torque is what gets you up the hills. Gives you the automatic mode, which is pretty cool, just automatically adjusts for you. In a clever bit of engineering here, Velo de Ville is allowing us to configure the bike with a Gates carbon belt, so you don't have to worry about cleaning and oiling your chain. There's no maintenance, you don't have to worry about your chain falling off, and that's combined with the NVLO continuously variable transmission. So everything's enclosed in the hub there. That's your gearing. This is your motor, and that means there's no maintenance, no adjustments. Again, nothing to go out of whack. Gears aren't going to shift when they're not supposed to and not shift when they are supposed to. In fact, the gearing is really very clever system to use. We've got the little infographic here so we can see the cyclist going uphill. That means right now it's really easy to pedal. If I want it to be harder to pedal, I just twist this and just see how it's going flatter. That makes it harder to pedal. When I get to the hill, it needs to be easier, twist that way. And I'm doing that while I'm stopped, and you can do that while you're pedaling. Now the belt is great, but we do have a configuration with that NVLO still, and of course the CX motor, but with a regular chain to try to help keep the cost down a little bit. So there's kind of two versions of the FEB. They're both going to have that CX motor, but we'll have a few different upgrades, such as the higher capacity battery. We've got the integrated battery. You can have either a 500 watt hour or a 625, different display options. Oh, and check this out, all these little things, the attention to detail that I really like with Velo de Ville. The battery latch here is really sturdy to make it easy to get that cover on and off. Sometimes we find that these things tend to get overlooked and are kind of flimsy, and so this is a really nice integration here. Even if I can get in behind here, there we go, the charging cover port here, really nice, easy to get open and closed, which is one of our complaints about some of the Bosch charge port covers. Nice and sturdy. So I'll plan on doing an in-depth video review, including a ride test once these show up in the store. But you can see, everything is really well thought out, very, very comfortable. We've got an MIK compatible rack on the back here. We've got a nice bright rear light and a bright front light to keep you safe, reflective sidewalls in the tires, great stopping power on the brakes, of course, through axle up front here, which we want to see on a bike like this. It's really capable of anywhere you want to go. Those Schwalbe Johnny Watts tires I talked about before as well, highly puncture resistant, really nice suspension fork that it's an air fork, so we can adjust the air, make some adjustments on that as well. Really sturdy, wide fenders. So overall, a fantastic bike. We've got the comfortable ergon grips here. We're going to have a nice, comfortable saddle as well. So lots of great features. The quality is there. The design is beautiful. I'm really looking forward to having these bikes in the store. If you have any questions or if there's anything we can do for you, you can reach out to us at citruscycles.ca.